Hi, this is Tanya from Solopreneur Diaries. Today we are going to talk about BoardBooster, which is my favorite Pinterest scheduling tool. This is the first in a series of videos and posts about BoardBooster. Today we're going to cover an overview so that you can see what BoardBooster does, how it works, what it costs, etc. And in the next video, we'll show you how to get started scheduling pins. So what is BoardBooster? BoardBooster is a Pinterest scheduling tool, but it is so much more. There are a variety of pinning tools available to help you make the most of your time and get the most out of Pinterest. There are campaigns, there is the scheduler, and looping is the third tool. Scheduler is just what it sounds like. Instead of pinning live, it lets you put pins into a queue to be pinned later on so that you don't have to be on Pinterest all day long. Looping is what really sets BoardBooster apart from the other Pinterest schedulers out there. I love looping. Looping repins your content, starting with your oldest pins first, so it brings new life to the content that you have already curated. And then the third pinning tool is Campaigns, which will let you drip out content to certain boards, such as group boards. There are also some maintenance tools available, which they do things like look for broken links, look for pins that lead to slow websites, help you find the things that you really don't want on your Pinterest boards anymore. The maintenance tools do cost a little bit extra. They're not included in the monthly fee. And then there are reports, which we'll talk about a little bit later in the video. So since I mentioned the monthly fee, let's take a look at the pricing. BoardBooster costs a penny a pin. That's how all of the plans are built. You can start out with 500 pins a month, which would cost you $5. And they have plans that go all the way up to 5,000 pins a month, which would be $50. I am currently pinning 1,000 pins a month, which is just over 30 pins a day, and that costs $10. There is a free trial available. You can pin your first 100 pins through BoardBooster for free, and you can sign up to do that without actually having to enter a credit card. So that's what I recommend that you do. Sign up for the free trial and try BoardBooster out to see if you like it before you're committed to anything. So let's take a look at the scheduler. So that is one of the pinning tools. And BoardBooster, the scheduler works off of secret boards. When you set up your boards in BoardBooster, it will automatically create a secret board for each board that you want to schedule to. The secret board is your source board. So you will pin to the secret board, and then BoardBooster will pin those pins out according to the schedule that you set up. So let's take a look at my Pinterest account and look at some secret boards. So the secret boards are down at the bottom of your Pinterest profile, and anything you see that has the little dash in front of it is a secret board. That's how BoardBooster builds your secret boards, and that's how you can tell that it's a source board. Has the little dash in front of it. So I pin all of my new content to my secret source boards, and then I let BoardBooster pin it out according to my schedule. There isn't a second app that you need to do. You can pin to your source boards right from inside Pinterest, which is one of the things that I like. I usually pin one day a week, and I'll spend 45 minutes to an hour pinning to my source boards so that I'm constantly adding new content, but I don't have to be on Pinterest all the time in order to get that content out to my public boards. I'll also do some random pinning if I happen to be out. Since I'm pinning from inside Pinterest, that means I can use my phone or my tablet. So if I'm somewhere waiting in line or waiting at the doctor's office, that kind of thing, I can pull my phone out and add a few pins to my source boards, and it is just super easy to do that. So let's look really quickly at how to add a pin to one of your source boards. So let's look for a pin that we might want to add. Okay, this looks like a good one right here. So you would click on Save just like you would for any other pen, and then in the search bar you can hit the dash on your keyboard, and that's going to pull up all of your secret source boards so you don't have to look for them individually. So this is something I would pin to Blogging Plus Business Tips. So that goes on my Blogging Plus Business Tips secret board, the one with a dash in front of it, and then BoardBooster will pin that out to my public boards based on the schedule that I have set up. So that's how the scheduler works. Let's take a look at looping, or talk about looping for just a minute. Like I said, looping repins the content that is already on your public boards. It does not use secret boards like the scheduler does. The advantage of looping is that it brings new life to your old pins. All those great pins that you've been finding for years ever since you started using Pinterest, you can share those again using the looping feature. It's going to go back to the very first pin on each one of your boards and pin those out chronologically based on the schedule that you set up. And I like to have about half of my pins come from looping, which is where I'm repinning my existing content, and then I have about half of my daily pins coming from scheduler, which is brand new content that I have added to my source boards. So that's how looping works. And let's take a look at the last pinning tool, which is Campaigns. I use Campaigns to pin to my group boards. Most of my boards have a lot of other people's content because I like to curate content. And then for my group boards, I like to pin about 80% other people's content and 20% my own content. So I have secret source boards set up through Scheduler that pin to my group boards that I participate in. And then I also drip out my own content through Campaigns. So I can set up, for example, I have a couple of campaigns set up where I pin 2 pins a day from one source board to 2 group boards, and it pins 4 days a week. So that keeps me within that 80-20 ratio that I like to have, and it also keeps me within the guidelines of the group boards that I participate in. So those are the pinning tools. Let's take a look at the reports really quickly because I think that there are some good reports in BoardBooster that complement the Pinterest analytics. One of my favorites is the pinning history report, and it will show you your most recent pins that BoardBooster has pinned for you. You can look at the most recent 500, 1,000, or 2,000, and it will show them to you in reverse chronological order. So you can see when it was pinned, what the pin was, the board that it came from, the board that it is pinned to, and whether it was pinned through looping, the pin scheduler, or through a campaign. You can mouse over the thumbnail and see the actual pin itself, or you can click on the link and it will take you to the pin if you want to do that. One of my favorite things about this report is that it shows me how many pins I've pinned in the current billing cycle and how many I'm projected to pin during the month. So that helps me stay within the plan that I'm set up for. So I'm currently pinning 1,000 pins a month. It looks like I need to cut back just a little bit because I might go over my plan and get bumped up to the next level accidentally. The other report that I want to show you is the best time to pin report. It gives you this nice graph that shows you when you are getting repins throughout the day. So this will tell you when your audience is on Pinterest. My audience tends to be on Pinterest the most in the evenings between about 6 and 10, but they're also online during the day, in the morning and the afternoon. So I typically pin all day long because I typically have people online all day long, and this helps me customize and adjust my pin schedule based on when my audience is online. So that is just a quick overview of BoardBooster to help you get started. I have several more videos planned for this series that will go into more depth for each of the BoardBooster tools. Check back for the next video in the series, which will cover scheduling pins. And again, this is Tanya from Solopreneur Diaries. Thank you for tuning in today, and I hope that you have a great day.